Welcome, friend. Tonight we walk a quiet path together, a path that asks nothing of you, a path that leads nowhere except deeper into this moment, this breath, this gentle now. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to become. The world outside can wait. The thoughts that rise and fall, they too can wait. For now, there is only this voice, moving softly through the darkness, and your breath, moving quietly through you. Let your eyes close if they haven't already. Feel the weight of your body against whatever holds you. Notice how the earth supports you completely, without effort, without question. You do not need to hold yourself up. You can let go. The day has passed. Whatever happened, it has already dissolved into memory. Whatever tomorrow brings, it does not exist yet. Between these two illusions, there is only this breathing moment. And in this moment, you are safe. You are held. You are enough. Imagine, if you will, a small temple somewhere in the mountains. The rain is falling gently on its curved roof. Each drop finds its way down the tiles and into the garden below. The sound is constant, but never the same. Each moment a new pattern, each moment complete. Inside this temple, a single candle burns. Its flame moves slightly, though there is no wind. It dances with something invisible, something we cannot see but can only sense. The light it casts is warm and amber. It does not reach the corners of the room, and that is perfect. Darkness has its place too. You are here with me now, not in that temple, but in a space just as sacred, the space between waking and sleeping, the threshold where thoughts begin to soften and the heart remembers its own rhythm. This is where we will spend our time together tonight. There is an old teaching that says peace is not something we create. It is what remains when we stop struggling, when we stop trying to fix what isn't broken, when we stop running from what we cannot change. Tonight we explore this teaching, not with our minds, but with something deeper, with the part of us that already knows, the part that has always known, the part that simply is. Breathe in slowly. Feel the cool air enter your body. Hold it gently for a moment, then let it go. Warmer now, softer now, carrying with it whatever you no longer need. Each breath is a small death and a small birth. Each breath is practice for letting go. The stories I will share tonight are old. They come from temples and monasteries, from masters who sat in silence for years, from students who asked questions that had no answers. These stories are not meant to teach you anything new. They are meant to remind you of what you already know but have forgotten. They are lanterns along a path you've walked before. They are reflections of your own face in still water. They are whispers of the truth that lives quietly inside you, waiting to be remembered. Listen with your whole body. Let the words wash over you like rain. Do not try to understand everything. Do not try to remember. Simply receive. Simply rest. The first story begins in a monastery long ago, the kind of place where time moves differently, where days are marked by bells and seasons, not by clocks and calendars, where silence is not empty but full. In this monastery lived a young monk. He was earnest and sincere. He wanted desperately to understand the nature of mind. He meditated for hours each day. He studied ancient texts until his eyes burned. He questioned his teacher endlessly, seeking the one answer that would unlock everything. But understanding eluded him. The harder he grasped, the more it slipped away. His frustration grew like a shadow at sunset, long and dark and impossible to escape. He began to doubt himself. Perhaps he was not meant for this path. Perhaps enlightenment was for others, not for him. One autumn evening, as the light turned golden and the air grew cool, he sat in the garden. Fallen leaves covered the stone path, red and yellow and brown. They had been so vibrant just weeks before. Now they lay scattered, returning to earth. The young monk watched them with a heavy heart. Even the beauty around him felt like a reminder of his failure. Everything changes, everything passes, and still he understood nothing. His teacher, an old woman with silver hair and eyes like deep water, came and sat beside him. She said nothing for a long time. They watched the leaves together. They watched the light fade slowly from the sky. They watched the first star appear. Finally, the teacher spoke. Her voice was soft, barely louder than the wind. She said, "You are trying to catch water with your hands." The young monk looked at her, confused. "Master, I do not understand." She smiled. "Exactly." He waited for her to explain, but she said nothing more. She simply sat there, breathing quietly, her hands resting in her lap. The silence stretched between them like a bridge made of air. After a while, the young monk felt something shift inside him. A small release, like a knot loosening. He did not understand the teaching, but somehow in that moment, understanding did not matter. The garden was beautiful. The star was bright. His breath was moving in and out, all on its own. The teacher stood slowly, her old knees creaking. Before she walked away, she placed her hand gently on his shoulder. "The mind you are looking for," she whispered, "is the mind that is looking." She left him there in the gathering darkness. The young monk sat very still. He felt the cool stone beneath him. He heard a cricket singing somewhere in the bushes. He noticed how his shoulders had been tight for months, maybe years. Slowly, carefully, he let them drop. He let the tension fall away like leaves from a tree. He stopped trying to catch anything. He stopped trying to become anything. He simply sat there, breathing, being, witnessing the night as it arrived. And in that ordinary moment, something extraordinary happened. Not a flash of light, not a voice from heaven, just a quiet recognition, a soft understanding that needed no words. The mind he had been seeking was already here. It had always been here. It was the very awareness through which he experienced everything. He had been the seeker and the sought, the question and the answer. The wave that forgot it was ocean. The young monk began to laugh, not loudly, but softly, gently, the way rain sounds on leaves. He laughed at the simplicity of it, at the years of struggle, at the beautiful, perfect absurdity of searching for what he had never lost. The stars multiplied above him. The cricket continued its song. The leaves rested where they had fallen, and for the first time in years, the young monk felt truly at peace. Now, breathe with me, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel your own body breathing. You are not making it breathe. It breathes itself, just like your heart beats itself, just like the night becomes morning without your help. There is a wisdom in your body that the mind cannot touch, a knowing that precedes thought. Before you think, "I am breathing," the breath is already moving. Before you think, "I am alive," life is already happening. What if peace works the same way? What if it is not something you achieve, but something you allow? What if it is already here, waiting quietly beneath the noise, beneath the trying, beneath the endless search? The young monk in the story stopped searching, and in that stopping, he he found what he had been looking for, not because he became worthy, not because he learned the right answer, but because he finally got out of his own way. Where in your life are you trying to catch water with your hands? Where are you gripping so tightly that the very thing you want slips through your fingers? What would happen if you opened your hands and let everything simply be? These are not questions that need answers tonight. They are seeds planted in soft soil. Let them rest there. Let them grow in their own time. For now, simply notice, simply breathe, simply feel the weight of your body and the rhythm of your heart. The candle in the temple still burns. The rain still falls. And here in the darkness, you are learning what cannot be taught. You are remembering what you have always known. You are coming home to yourself. Let your jaw soften. Let your tongue rest easy in your mouth. Let your eyes be soft behind your closed lids. There is nothing to see, nothing to do, only this gentle descent into rest. The second story comes to us from a different time, a different place, but the truth it carries is the same. Truth does not change with geography or era. It simply is, like water is water, whether it flows in a river or rests in a cup. There was once a master calligrapher. His brushwork was legendary. Emperors commissioned him to write poems on silk. Monks asked him to inscribe sutras on temple walls. His characters flowed like birds in flight, each stroke perfect, each curve alive with movement. But the calligrapher had a secret. He was going blind. Slowly, gradually, the world was dimming. Colours faded first, then details, then even shapes began to blur and merge. He told no one. He feared that if people knew, they would pity him, or worse, they would stop believing in his art. He worked harder than ever. He memorised each stroke. He practised until his hand knew the movements without thought. He relied on muscle memory and decades of training. And still, his work remained beautiful. No one suspected a thing. One day, a wealthy merchant came to him with a request. He wanted the calligrapher to write a single character on a scroll. The character was mu, emptiness, nothingness, the void. The calligrapher agreed. The merchant left, and the calligrapher stood before his blank scroll, brush in hand, ink prepared. But for the first time in his long career, he hesitated. He could barely see the paper anymore, just a vague rectangle of pale light. Fear rose in him like water in a well. What if he failed? What if his secret was revealed? What if this merchant, who had paid handsomely, discovered that the great calligrapher was now just a blind old man with a trembling hand? He stood there for hours. The ink dried on his brush. The light shifted across the room. He could not bring himself to make the first stroke. The fear was too great, the risk too high. Finally, as evening approached, exhaustion overtook him. His legs ached from standing. His mind was empty from worry. He felt hollow, defeated, finished. In that moment of complete surrender, he thought, I have nothing left to lose. He dipped his brush in fresh ink. He faced the scroll he could no longer see, and without thought, without fear, without any attempt at perfection, he made the stroke. One continuous movement from his centre, through his arm, through the brush, through the ink, onto the paper. He felt it more than saw it. The brush singing across the surface, the ink spreading and settling, the completion of something that had no beginning. When he finished, he set the brush down and walked away. He did not look at what he had created. He could not see it anyway. The next morning, the merchant returned. He unrolled the scroll. His eyes widened. His breath caught. He stood in silence for a long time, gazing at the character written there. Finally he spoke. His voice was thick with emotion. "Master," he said, "this is the finest work you have ever created. It is alive. It breathes. It contains everything and nothing. How did you do it?" The calligrapher smiled, a sad, knowing smile. "I stopped trying," he said simply. The merchant looked at him, not understanding. The calligrapher continued. "For years I have controlled every stroke. Every line was planned, measured, perfected. But yesterday I had nothing left. No sight, no confidence, no hope. So I simply let the brush move, and in that surrender something true appeared." The merchant bowed deeply. He left with his scroll, treasure in hand. The calligrapher stood alone in his studio. He was blind now, fully and completely, and yet, in a way he could not explain, he finally saw clearly. Breathe again, slowly, deeply. Let the story settle into you like snow falling on water. What does it mean to stop trying? What does it mean to create from emptiness rather than from effort? We live in a world that tells us to try harder, to push through, to never give up. And there is wisdom in perseverance, but there is also wisdom in surrender, in knowing when to stop fighting, in trusting what emerges when we get out of our own way. The calligrapher's best work came not from mastery, but from letting go, not from seeing, but from blindness, not from confidence, but from defeat. His surrender was not weakness, it was the ultimate strength, the strength to release control and trust something deeper than skill. In your own life, where are you over-controlling? Where are you so afraid of failure that you strangle the very thing you hope to create? What might be born if you loosened your grip? Think of your breath again. You do not control it, yet it continues. Your heart beats without your permission. Your body heals without your instruction. Life knows how to live itself. Sometimes the wisest thing we can do is step aside and let it. The calligrapher could have given up. He could have confessed his blindness and retired in shame. Instead, he faced the blank page with nothing left to lose, and in that sacred nothing, everything was found. There is a moment in every meditation when the trying stops, when the mind gives up its endless effort to achieve some special state. That is often when peace arrives, not as a reward for trying, but as what remains when trying ends. Let your breathing deepen now. Feel your belly rise and fall. This is the rhythm that rocked you before you were born. This is the tide that will carry you long after words lose their meaning. Trust it. Rest in it. The night deepens around you. Somewhere, a temple bell might be ringing. Somewhere, rain might be falling. Somewhere, a blind calligrapher is creating beauty from darkness. And here, now, you are simply breathing, simply being, simply enough. Your thoughts will come and go. This is natural. You need not fight them. They are like clouds crossing the sky of your awareness. The sky does not grab the clouds. It does not push them away. It simply allows them to pass. You are the sky, vast, open, unchanging. The thoughts, the feelings, the sensations, all of these are weather patterns moving through you. They do not define you. They do not diminish you. They simply pass. Notice how this feels. To witness without attachment, to observe without judgment, to be aware without needing anything to be different than it is. This is the practice. This is the teaching. This is the pathless path home. The calligrapher learned to trust his hand. You can learn to trust your breath. It knows where to go. It knows when to pause. It knows how to carry you from this moment to the next, until finally you arrive at sleep. And when you wake, the teaching will remain. Not as memory, but as knowing. Not as information, but as transformation. You will carry something forward, even if you cannot name it. For now, let yourself soften further. Let the boundaries between you and the darkness blur. Let yourself become porous, transparent, empty in the most beautiful way. If you have been enjoying this journey through these ancient teachings, if these words have brought you even a moment of peace, you are welcome to return whenever you wish. This space will be here, these stories will be here, and you are always welcome to rest here. Subscribe if you'd like, and let this become a regular refuge from the noise of the world. Now, let us continue deeper still. There is another story waiting. This one is longer, quieter, slower. It moves like mist through bamboo, like moonlight on water, like the very gradual way darkness becomes dawn. In a village at the edge of a forest, there lived a potter. She was neither young nor old, neither famous nor unknown. She made simple vessels, bowls for rice, cups for tea, vases for flowers. Her work was honest and plain. Every morning she would rise before dawn. She would sit at her wheel and centre the clay. This was her favourite part, taking the formless lump and bringing it into balance, feeling it spin beneath her hands, coaxing it into stillness even as it moved. The potter had learned her craft from her grandmother, who had learned it from her grandmother before. The same wheel, worn smooth by generations of hands. The same kiln, built with stones from the river. The same simple shapes, repeated and refined across decades. She was content with her life. She asked for nothing more than clay and water and fire. Her needs were few. Her happiness was steady. But as the years passed, she noticed something changing inside her. The joy she once felt at the wheel began to fade. The pride she took in a perfect curve became routine. The satisfaction of a firing completed became merely expected. She was not unhappy, but neither was she truly present. She began to work mechanically. Her hands knew the movements so well, they required no attention. She could think about other things while forming a bowl. She could plan her day while trimming a foot. She could worry about the future while glazing a vase. One season, a travelling monk came to the village. He was very old, his face a map of wrinkles and weather. He carried nothing but a walking stick and a small bowl for alms. He asked if he might shelter in the potter's workshop for a night. She agreed. She gave him tea and a place to sleep near the kiln, where the warmth lingered. In return, he asked if he might watch her work. She found this request strange, but saw no harm in it. The next morning, she sat at her wheel as usual. She centered her clay as usual. She began to pull up the walls of a bowl as usual. But now, with the monk watching, she felt self-conscious. Her movements became stiff, her breathing shallow. The clay wobbled and collapsed. She tried again. Same result. Again. Worse. Her frustration mounted. Why was this happening? She had made thousands of bowls. This was as natural to her as walking. But now, under the quiet gaze of this stranger, she could not even center the clay. After the third failed attempt, she stopped. Her hands were shaking. Her jaw was tight. She looked at the monk, embarrassed and angry. "I cannot work with you watching," she said. The monk smiled gently. "I am not watching you," he replied. "I am watching the clay." She did not understand. What difference does that make? Try again, he said, but this time you watch the clay too. Do not think about the bowl. Do not think about me. Simply be with the clay as it is in this moment. She wanted to argue. His words seemed like nonsense, but something in his tone made her pause. She took a breath. She placed her hands on a fresh lump of clay. She felt its coolness, its dampness, its weight. She began to spin the wheel. This time, she did not think ahead to the bowl. She did not remember all the bowls she had made before. She simply felt the clay yielding beneath her palms. She noticed the way it responded to pressure, the way it wanted to rise, the way it sought its own center. Her breathing slowed. Her shoulders dropped. The clay began to rise evenly, smoothly, as if it were raising itself. She was not making a bowl. She was participating in the clay's becoming. She was a witness and a partner, but not a controller. When the bowl was complete, she sat back. It was not perfect. One side was slightly thicker than the other. The rim was not quite even, but it was alive in a way her recent work had not been. It breathed. It had presence. The monk nodded. "Now you are making pottery," he said. "But I have always made pottery," she protested. "No," he replied gently. "You have been making memory. You have been repeating what you learned so long ago that you forgot to learn again. Each lump of clay is new. It has never been touched before. It does not care about the 10,000 bowls you made yesterday. It asks only that you meet it here, now, with attention." The potter felt something break open inside her, not painfully, but like ice cracking in spring. She realized he was right. She had been living in memory, not in presence. She had been so skilled that she no longer needed to pay attention. And in losing attention, she had lost joy. The monk stayed 3 more days. Each morning, he sat quietly in the corner while she worked, and each morning she practiced coming back to the present moment, feeling the clay, hearing the wheel, noticing the light changing on the workshop walls. It was difficult at first. Her mind wanted to wander, to plan, to judge, but slowly she learned to catch herself, to return, to begin again. And as she did, something miraculous happened. The work became new again. Each bowl was a first bowl. Each cup was an exploration. On the morning the monk prepared to leave, the potter gave him a bowl. It was simple and slightly imperfect. He held it in both hands and looked at it for a long time. Then he bowed deeply. "This bowl knows it is a bowl," he said. "Thank you." He walked out of the village, down the road toward the forest. The potter watched him go until he disappeared among the trees. Then she returned to her wheel. She centered a lump of clay, and for the first time in years, she smiled as she worked. From that day forward, the potter's work changed, not in style or technique, but in essence. People began to notice. They could not say exactly what was different, but they felt it. Her bowls seemed to hold their rice better. Her cups seemed to keep tea warmer. Her vases seemed to make flowers last longer. Of course, none of this was literally true. The vessels were the same as always, but the presence she brought to their making somehow transferred to them. They carried her attention, her awareness, her return to the moment. And people, when they used these vessels, felt called to return as well. The potter grew old. Her hands became arthritic. Her eyes dimmed, but she never lost the teaching the monk had given her. Every morning she came to the wheel. Every morning she met the clay as if for the first time. Every morning she practiced presence, And when she finally died, many years later, the villagers came to her workshop. They found hundreds of bowls, cups, and vases. They found the old wheel, smooth and silent, and they found, tucked in a corner, a single perfect bowl. Inside it was a note in her handwriting. It said simply, "The clay knows the way. You need only listen. Breathe now. Let your breath be like the potter's hands on clay. Gentle, attentive, present. Each breath is new. It has never been breathed before. It will never come again. This one, now, and now, and now." How often do we move through life the way the potter moved through her craft? On autopilot, in memory, repeating patterns so familiar they no longer require our presence. We eat without tasting, walk without feeling, speak without listening. We are here, but we are not here. The monk's teaching was simple. Return. Again and again, return. Not to some special state, not to enlightenment or bliss. Just return to this, the clay, the breath, the sensation of being alive in this body in this moment. This is not easy. The mind resists. It finds presence boring. It prefers drama and story and projection. It likes to live in the past or the future, anywhere but here. But here is where life happens. Here is where the clay is centered. Here is where the bowl is born. You can practice this now. Feel the weight of your head on the pillow. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Hear the subtle sounds around you. You are not trying to feel anything special. You are simply noticing what is already happening. This is enough. You are enough. This moment, exactly as it is enough. The potter learned that mastery without presence is hollow. Skill without attention is dead. We can do things perfectly and still miss the point entirely. The point is not the bowl. The point is the making. The point is the aliveness that flows through us when we are truly here. What have you mastered in your life? What have you done so many times that you no longer truly do it? What would it mean to come back? To feel it again as if for the first time? To let it be new? Maybe it is the way you hold your child. Maybe it is the way you walk to your car. Maybe it is the way you drink your morning coffee. These small acts, done with presence, become sacred. They become doorways back to yourself. The monk wandered from village to village, teaching without teaching, simply watching, simply being. And those who met him found themselves changed, not because he told them what to do, but because his presence called them back to their own. You do not need a monk. You do not need a master. You need only the willingness to return, again and again and again. This is the practice. This is the path. There is nowhere to arrive, only this endless, gentle returning. Feel your body now. Notice where it touches the surface beneath you. Notice the rhythm of your heart. Notice the thoughts moving through your mind like fish through water. You do not need to catch them. You do not need to change them. Simply notice. Simply witness. The potter's hands grew still eventually. The monk's walking ended at last. All forms pass. All bodies return to clay. But the awareness that watched the potter work, that looked through the monk's eyes, that does not pass. That is what you are. Not the form, but the formless. Not the wave, but the ocean. Rest in this knowing. Not as belief, but as direct experience. Right now, something is aware of these words. Something is breathing this body. Something is living this life. And that something has no age, no story, no history. It simply is. The night is deep now. The world is quiet. Let yourself sink further into the darkness. Let the boundaries dissolve. Let the sense of being a separate self soften and blur. You are not separate. You have never been separate. You are the whole thing experiencing itself through this particular lens. The potter at her wheel, the monk on his road, the clay rising beneath patient hands, the bowl that knows it is a bowl. All of this is you. All of this is the one life living itself in infinite forms. And yet, here you are, breathing in a bed, listening to a voice in the darkness, feeling tired and ready for sleep. This too is perfect. This too is sacred. This too is the teaching. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go, no one you need to become. The clay is already centered. The bowl is already complete. You are already home. Let your breathing slow even more. Let each exhale be a little longer than the last. Feel yourself settling, grounding, releasing. The day is over. The work is done. For now, there is only rest. In ancient times, temples kept fires burning through the night. Monks would take turns tending them, not because the fires were necessary, but because the tending was. The practice of staying awake while others slept, the practice of keeping vigil, the practice of presence even in the dark. You need not keep vigil tonight. You need not tend any fire. Let yourself sleep. Let the awareness rest. Let the body restore itself. Everything will still be here in the morning. The clay, the wheel, the path, the teaching. But something will have changed. You will have changed. Not dramatically, not obviously, but in some subtle way you will have returned. You will have remembered. You will have touched something true. And tomorrow, when you move through your life, you might notice. You might feel your feet on the ground a little more clearly. You might taste your food a little more fully. You might hear the voices of others a little more deeply. You might come back. This is all the teaching ever asks. Come back, return, be here, not forever, not perfectly, just now, and now, and now. Each moment a fresh beginning, each breath a new bowl rising beneath your hands. The story of the potter is your story. The monk is your own inner wisdom. The clay is your life as it is, not as you wish it to be. And the wheel is turning, has always been turning, will always be turning. You need only place your hands on it and feel. Let go now. Let everything go. Let the words fade. Let the stories dissolve. Let even the breath become something distant, something that happens on its own, something that needs no attention. You are free to drift, free to sleep, free to rest completely. The darkness is not empty. It is full, full of potential, full of peace, full of the infinite awareness that holds all things. You are held in this darkness like a child in its mother's arms, safe, loved, whole. There is no achievement here, no goal to reach, no standard to meet. Sleep is not something you do. It is something you allow. It is what happens when you stop, when you surrender, when you trust the night. And if you find yourself still awake, that is fine too. There is no failure here. Simply continue breathing. Simply continue listening. Simply continue being. Sleep will come in its own time. You need not chase it. The teachings we have explored tonight are not meant to be remembered. They are meant to be absorbed, to seep into you like water into soil, to change you in ways you cannot measure or see, to work on you while you sleep. The young monk in the garden, the blind calligrapher, the potter and the travelling teacher. These are not separate from you. They are aspects of your own consciousness showing you what you already know but have forgotten. You are the seeker and the sought. You are the clay and the hands that shape it. You are the bowl and the emptiness inside the bowl. You are all of it. Every story, every teaching, every breath. This realization need not come tonight. It need not come ever. It is already true whether you realize it or not. The ocean does not need the wave to know it is water. And yet when the wave remembers, something beautiful happens. Not a change in what is, but a change in how it is experienced. Peace is not something you will feel tomorrow. It is not a future state. It is here now, beneath the noise, beneath the seeking, beneath the very desire for peace. It is the ground of your being, the silence between thoughts, the space in which everything appears. You do not need to find this peace. You need only stop covering it, stop disturbing it, stop insisting it look a certain way. Let it be what it is. Let yourself be what you are. And in that letting, everything becomes simple. The breath moves, the heart beats, the night passes, and you are here witnessing it all. Not as a separate observer, but as the awareness in which observation happens. You are the screen on which the movie plays. You are the sky in which the weather moves. You are the silence in which sound arises. This is not a metaphor. This is direct experience, available right now. Notice what is aware of these words. That is what you are. Notice what is aware of the noticing. That is what you are. Keep going back. Keep asking what is aware until you cannot go back anymore, until you arrive at something that simply is, aware, present, timeless. This might sound abstract or philosophical, but it is the most concrete, immediate reality there is, more real than your body, more real than your thoughts, more real than anything you have ever experienced, because it is not an experience, it is what experience is. It is not an object, it is the subject, the one constant in a world of change. The potter learned this at her wheel, the monk embodied it on his road, and you are learning it now, not through study, not through effort, but through the simple act of being, through resting, through letting go. Your eyelids are heavy, your limbs are soft, your mind is quiet. If thoughts still arise, they arise in space. They do not disturb the fundamental peace. They are like ripples on the surface of a deep lake. The depths remain still. Sink into those depths now. Let the surface activity continue if it must. Let the ripples ripple, but you sink below them, into the stillness, into the quiet, into the dark, sweet peace that asks nothing and gives everything. There is a story told of a master who was asked, "What is enlightenment?" He replied, "When you are hungry, eat. When you are tired, sleep." The student was confused. "But doesn't everyone do that?" The master smiled. "No. Most people, when they eat, are thinking of 1,000 things. When they sleep, they are chasing dreams. They are never fully where they are. Tonight, be fully where you are. If you are awake, be awake. If you are drifting, drift. If you are sleeping, sleep. Do not be split. Do not be divided. Simply be wholly, completely. Here, this is the teaching beneath all teachings, presence, awareness, being, not as a practice to master, but as the reality you have always been. You are not learning something new. You are unlearning everything old, all the conditioning, all the should and must and need, all the ways you have been taught to be other than what you are. What you are needs no improvement. The awareness reading these words is already perfect, already complete, already free. It has never been bound. It has never been broken. It has never been lost. You are not your history. You are not your mistakes. You are not your achievements. You are not your body or your mind or your personality. These are all appearances, temporary forms arising in the field of what you are. And what you are is vast, boundless, eternal. This is not grandiosity. This is simple truth. The same awareness that looks through your eyes looks through all eyes. The same consciousness that breathes your breath breathes all breath. You are not a separate wave. You are the ocean itself. Dreaming, it is a wave. And tonight, the ocean can rest. The dreaming can soften. The wave can remember its true nature. Not through effort, but through release. Through letting go. Through coming home. Feel how your body has softened since we began. How your jaw has released. How your shoulders have dropped. This is not something you did. It happened on its own. The way the tide turns. The way flowers close at night. Your body knows how to rest. Trust it. The mind may still be active. Thoughts may still arise. This is natural. The mind is not your enemy. It is a tool, a wonderful, useful tool. But it is not who you are. You are what watches the mind, what knows the thoughts. And in that knowing, there is peace. Let the thoughts be. Do not engage them. Do not follow them. Simply let them pass like clouds, like leaves on a stream, like the breeze that comes and goes. They have no power over you. They cannot disturb the fundamental stillness unless you give them permission. And even if you do engage them, even if you follow them into worry or planning or remembering, that is okay too. Notice when you have left and gently come back. No judgment, no criticism, just a soft return. Again and again and always again. This is the practice, not perfection, not control, just this gentle, patient returning, like the potter centering the clay, like the monk taking another step, like the breath that returns after it has left. Natural, effortless, kind. Be kind to yourself tonight. You have done enough. You have tried enough. You have been enough. Now simply rest. Let the world turn without you. Let problems remain unsolved. Let tomorrow stay where it is. For now there is only this breath, this moment, this gentle sinking into sleep. The candle in the temple has burned lower. The wax pools at its base. Soon it will go out. And that is perfect. Everything has its time. Everything completes. The light serves by shining. Then it serves by letting darkness return. You serve by being awake, by living, by trying. And now you serve by sleeping, by resting, by allowing your consciousness to withdraw from the world and turn inward. This too is sacred. This too is necessary. This too is the teaching. In sleep, we practice death. We practice letting go of control. We practice trusting the unknown. We close our eyes not knowing if we will open them. We release our grip on the waking world. And every morning we are born again. Tonight's sleep is tonight's death. Let it be a good death, a conscious death, a willing death. Not morbid, but peaceful. Not fearful, but trusting. You have died 1,000 times before. Every night, every moment, every breath is a small death, and you have survived them all. Tomorrow you will be born again, fresh, renewed, ready. But you need not think about that now. Now is for dying. Now is for letting go. Now is for releasing everything you think you are and resting in what remains. What remains is awareness, pure, simple, unadorned. The light that illuminates everything but is not itself a thing. You cannot see it because you are it. You cannot find it because you have never lost it. You can only be it, and you already are. So rest. Rest as what you are. Rest as awareness. Rest as peace. Rest as the unborn, undying presence that has always been and will always be. The forms will change. The body will age. The world will transform. But you, the real you, will remain. Watching, witnessing, being. The night holds you. The darkness cradles you. The universe supports you. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are the infinite expressing itself in finite form. You are the one appearing as many, and tonight the one is tired, the one is ready to rest, the one is grateful for this day, whatever it brought. The one is releasing it all now, breathing out, letting go, falling, trusting. The fall is infinite. There is no bottom, only deeper and deeper peace, darker and darker rest, quieter and quieter being. You can fall forever, you can sink endlessly, and you are always held, always safe, always home. Listen to the silence now, not the absence of sound, but the presence beneath sound, the stillness from which all movement arises, the emptiness that is infinitely full. This is your true nature. This is what you have always been. The teachings tonight were fingers pointing at the moon. But you are not the finger. You are not even the moon. You are the space in which the moon appears, the awareness in which the pointing happens, the consciousness in which the teaching and the learning arise. And that consciousness is getting sleepy. That awareness is ready to rest. That space is inviting you to let go completely, to trust the night, to allow sleep to come like a friend who has been waiting patiently at the door. Open the door, let sleep in, welcome it. You do not need to make it happen. You only need to stop resisting, stop trying, stop doing anything at all. And in that complete stopping, sleep will arrive, gentle, soft, inevitable. Your breath is so slow now, so deep, each exhale longer than the last, each inhale softer. You are at the threshold, the boundary between waking and sleeping, between conscious and unconscious, between here and there. But there is no boundary, really. It is all one, all continuous, all the same awareness expressing itself in different modes. Sleep is not oblivion. It is another form of being, another way consciousness knows itself. Let yourself cross over. Let the threshold blur. Let the definitions dissolve. You are not entering sleep. You are becoming sleep. You are not losing consciousness. You are expanding consciousness beyond the narrow confines of the waking mind. The body is still now. The breathing is deep and automatic. The mind is soft, diffuse, barely present. You are almost there, almost gone, almost home. If these words still reach you, let them be the last thing you hear. Let them fade like the final notes of a song. Let them dissolve like mist in morning sun. They have served their purpose. They have carried you here. Now they can let you go. The young monk sitting in the garden, the blind calligrapher making his final stroke, the potter with her hands on clay. They are all at peace now, their stories complete, their teachings given. They have entered the silence from which they came, and you are entering too. The same silence, the same peace, the same vast, empty, infinite awareness that holds all things and is disturbed by nothing. Breathe, let go, sleep. The world will be here tomorrow. Your life will resume. Your story will continue. But for now, let it all dissolve. Let it all fade. Let it all return to the nothing from which it came. You are that nothing. You are that silence. You are that peace. Not empty, but full. Not dead, but more alive than anything. Not lost, but finally found. The candle has gone out. The temple is dark. The rain has stopped. And in the perfect silence, in the complete darkness, in the absolute stillness, you rest. As you are, as you have always been, as you will always be. Free, whole, home. And the night continues quietly without you needing to do a thing.